Welcome back to And Another Thing, my occasional vlog series about things that interest or infuriate me, or both. I really did not think that I would have the headspace to record a rant this month, but I have found somehow a bit of unexpected energy today. So I thought I'd at least share a thought exercise I've been working through with some governance clients this week about the difference when it comes to arts, cultural and non-profit governance between a session to work on an organisation's strategic plan and a strategic planning session. Now, bear with me as I work through the semantics, because yes, these two things obviously overlap, but I've noticed recently that some boards and organisations don't always know what they mean, and they don't always know which ones they need. So here are a couple of prompts to help you work that out. Question 1, I think it's fair to say that pretty much every single arts organisation or cultural institution in Australia and beyond is doing it tough at the moment. But although we might all be in crisis, it's important to know which kind. So is your organisation at the hard but ticking along, all things being equal end of the scale, or in full existential, not sure how long we can keep going like this crisis? If you're closer to the first option, then yes, you're probably looking to review and refresh your org's strategic plan. But if you're closer to the second, just shining up and churning out an updated document is unlikely to be of much help. So you probably need some hardcore strategic and scenario planning and decision making instead. Question 2 for those organisations up that end, which is too many of us at the moment, orgs that are facing very real threats to their existence, is how urgent are those threats? Do you have time to make a plan, in which case, again, an updated strategic plan with a clear multi-year focus on recovery and survival is likely to be sufficient? Or are one or more of the threats that you're facing creating real and immediate issues right now? Be that from rising inflation impacting your box office or other end income, the hugely reduced likelihood of receiving public or philanthropic grants in our never more competitive funding landscape, or the fact that we're just still deep in a cultural workforce crisis in which people are burning out, leaving the sector and not being replaced, which is making succession planning and delivery harder than most of us can remember. In which case, it probably doesn't make sense to waste time polishing your org's strategic statements when that time could be much better spent making immediate, impactful, and yes, possibly big and scary decisions. But better that than, as we've seen too many examples of recently, boards and organisations being too focused on process or hoping things will improve and then running out of money and of time. Which leads to my third and final question for those orgs that are up for what is not only a challenge but also a legal and fiduciary duty of their governing boards, which is, in having those discussions, how much is up for grabs? How open and vulnerable is your organisation willing to be, including whether or not you're up for asking whether your org is still needed in the first place, and how do you know that? Whether it's still best placed to deliver on its purpose, or whether that purpose should be changed or met in some different ways, perhaps in collaboration, or whether you are open to doing less now in order to do more long term. Because if you're not willing to put it all out on the table, or to ask your stakeholders how they think you're going or what they actually need, you may have fallen into the trap of spinning the wheels of self-perpetuation over and above fulfilling the purpose that your organisation was set up to meet in the first place. In which case, taking either a strategic plan or a strategic planning model has the potential to waste everybody's time. Ours is a for-purpose sector. Ours is a sector of meaning and impact and care. So when we are brave enough to have big conversations, those conversations and decisions, however scary, will benefit us all.